All greetings, this is Gillesmansillon. I wasn't going to talk today, but I thought I'd come anyway, and Spirit was like saying, I wasn't going to sing, and then I decided to talk, and the Spirit was, and they said, well, you're not going to sing, so I received complaint up there, so I decided on a song that I was going to sing. And so there is so much change that are coming up. It's like this amazing transformation. Personally, I was awakened at 4 o'clock in the morning. I went to sleep around 1, like every day, like after 3 hours, with really nightmarish energy. It was so dark. I felt like I was aggressed by dark energy, but yet the Creator came and it's like reassuring me. And then I fell back into sleep, and then I feel like there is this liberation. It's just the attacks are like from the lower astral planes are like they're bombarding me with negative energy to try to prevent that which is coming, but it's happening, so they will not prevent it. So in a sense, we want to work on the art and science of divine love. We want to emanate this divine love, this divine light everywhere, so that we can see it, we can become a beacon, we can become a source of light, a source of love. It's the Archangel Gabriel that was talking about this. We do want to we want to become this channel for love and light only. Although there is everything that I'm talking about, sometimes it depends on the perception. Sometimes I'm talking about the absolute oneness, which is the goal of that which is taught in the law of one. But there is all the relative perception in between. Sometimes on our path we go through relative experience that we need to go through, that shows opposing or different approach that are needed. So we do have to always follow the inner guidance in order to find the right balance. Once we've done all we can in relationship to what's been offered as the guidance, then the ball is no longer in our court. It's like we've thrown the ball on the other court, and the universe is going to throw it back to us. So it's like, do all you can in relationship to your inner guidance, then the ball will be in the hands of God, and God will send you back the ball, and then you'll see how you deal with the ball. You will send it back. It is like a dance that is happening. What we seek to do is connect to the crisp energy, to this brilliant light, this crisp energy. I feel it not every day, and not yet every day, not yet, but it's like only a few seconds, but it's so incredible. If you ever felt it, you know what I'm talking about. It's this crisp energy. It is a 5th dimensional energy, 6th, 7th dimensional energy. It is this energy of life that is so exalted. And so this will come more and more into our reality as we perfect our physical, we cleanse our physical body. As long as we see time as past, present, and future, we're still in 3D. As we elevate ourselves, there will be no more the understanding of past, present, future. It will become one energy that will be experienced as one. What we seek is to reach the end of a mountain, to climb on top of the mountain and find this perfect plateau on top of the mountain where we can see it all from there. But for a long time I felt like Sisyphus was in the Greek mythology. He was someone who was pushing a rock on top of a hill, and then at the end went to the top of a mountain, and then once he fulfilled that mission of pushing that rock on top of the hill, the rock will just fall back down. So you felt like to bring it back in and to bring it in. You could never stick on top of the mountain. So now it's like eventually we want to let go of the rock and just be able to stand on top of the mountain. Understanding the mind is the only opposing force to love. And love is we have to find love and courage in our heart in order to focus on love. We have this sword of light that can cut through everything that the mind has created. Love does not come from the mind. The mind is the one that creates the possibility of failure. The mind, the divine love can never fail. The love does not fail. I'm talking about love. I'm not talking about sentimental love. I'm talking about this pure divine love that we all have within ourselves. There's unconditional love. And this love can never fail. It's eternal. It is indestructible. It is our true essence. And if we cannot say yes to love, we have to be able to say maybe is good enough. If we would something at a certain time, we are so englobed within our shadows that we have a hard time to say yes to love. So just say maybe, and this maybe will open up the possibility for yes to return. Understanding the truth is not a thought; it is something vast. It is unlimited in truth, So we have to work on letting go of the mind, letting go of the control. But the desire to let go of the mind and let go of the control is a form of control. So it's subtle, because it's very subtle. We have to work within ourselves to let go of all form of control, even the idea of wanting to let go of control, wanting to let go of conditioning. We want to let go of that too. For the best things in life are happening outside of our control. The sun that is rising, love that is emerging, the flowers that are blooming, all kinds of things that are magical in life are beyond the control of man. So it is not what's going. So we want to, we do want to do. So we want to act to be ready to let go of as much control as we can, and trust the flow, trust our divine self. I didn't pull any cards, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to pull 5 cards. So the past is totally bananas, means the ridiculous in all things. It was okay to be ridiculous. Now we want to be a little woo because we were in the illusion. But now we're moving into the burning bush, the lineage tree. So it's a revelation. It is truth that is coming down to reveal itself. The future we do not want. We want to let go of. It's the mother of pearl. It's called the mother of pearl. In the pearl are created by the imperfection. It is the imperfection that inside the oyster that creates the pearl. So we want the world to be our oyster, and will be, and within those oysters there are pearls. But the pearls is like, this can be gloom and doom and negative, like melancholy and all those things. We want to let go of that. We want to let go of tension, because we want to breathe as much as possible. We want to let go of the ego, and then we'll find as above, so below. So it is a process. You have to be patient to let go of all those pass through the process as fast as possible, so you can receive the blessings of heaven. What we're working on right now is the wish fulfilling gem. It is the lover. And the outcome will be the Mount Meru, the center of the universe. The Mount Meru is the center of the universe. It is the center of spiritual energy. The powerful, the power of source is focalized on. So it is always keep your thought on your source. Keep your thought on source through your intentions. Think about God. But those mountains are the holder of frequency. They get all the cosmic energy, and then they send it throughout the earth. But you can just turn it into your heart and on your crown as well. So when you concentrate on your crown, you're opening up this door, and then you can send your thought towards the Creator, and then think you are merging your consciousness with that of God. You are communing. For everything depends on our level of initiation. On certain level, certain things are right. On certain other level, it's not. If a teaching is below your consciousness, then it will be no longer necessary. If it's above your consciousness, it may not be right yet. So it's all about, for in essence, the source have always presented itself in the highest good, in the highest truth, in the most beautiful energy. It's always the pure state of being. When God communicates with his children, it goes down to a certain level of comprehension, but it's always on a magnificent level, way beyond what we can conceive. As far as I'm concerned, God's always, whenever God comes to me, I'm always amazed and mesmerized, and just blows my mind every time. But I know he's coming down to a level that is comprehensible to my level of consciousness. And so understanding that God is all in truth, on the highest level, God is all. He explores the light, and he expresses the darkness. He explores everything. On Paradise, there was no contrast. In the central universe, it was ultimate perfection, but then created the universe and spread himself in the expression, in the experience of something else that was never experienced before, which is the separation from source. God explores the high and the low. He explores he only desires that which is good, but he uses everything. He knows everything. We want, as mortal beings, first we need to move from ignorance into lucidity, from heavy into light, from darkness into light. But in the Truth by God, God explains that the Buddha has achieved that. He has renounced darkness, he has renounced the heaviness, he has renounced the impure. And yet God has sent him back into the samsara and say, you got to relearn the impure with your own lucidity, because the truth is the pure and the impure. It is not just the pure. It's both the pure and the impure. God is all. Once the Buddha will have integrated the totality of truth, will have developed his courage, his compassion, and his lucidity on the level of God, he will be able to create worlds like God does. And so it is because God is the only one that can utilize the impure for the evolution of the universe, because he's got a supreme wisdom, a supreme compassion, supreme understanding. So as evolving, as growing initiate on the way, we want to eliminate that which is impure. If we study evil, we'll fall into it. If you study darkness, we'll fall into it. First, we have to become very clear, but understanding God has created the perfect balance between dark and light right at the start. The symbol of the Tao, the yin and the yang. I've seen them. They are actually personal aspect of self that are observator. They're balancing things out in the universal level. They're amazing logos. And but on the level of the infinite, there is no high, there is no low, there is no. God has got this discerning between the pure and the impure, but he accepts all things. And to accept yourself with your darkness, with your light, and do not fight always fight to move, always act with your will to move into the next level, to purify, to clear up, but do not be severe with yourself. To understand that you have this part that needs to be dominated. The yang, the light needs to dominate the darkness in order to utilize this part of darkness for your own evolution and growth and progress, not to fall into darkness. So those things are very subtle. They're really hard to understand, that God is all and God is good, where the darkness comes from. So it's like, but he explains in the Truth by God that God is in his infinite courage, in his infinite desire for exploration, of knowing all its nature, allows himself to exist as ghosts and demons, because it allows the universe to continue to exist to expand, and it creates an expansion in the universe that could never be created on paradise. And yet he knows that all things will eventually, all the ones will eventually become one, and then once all the one will become one, the great one will actually become personified in the universe, will emerge from paradise as the supreme to command all real cosmic reality, and then transcendental universe will be inaugurated when we go beyond. Those are very advanced spiritual ideas. I hope they resonate with you. If they not, do not worry. It's just a focus on your light, focus on your heart, focus on your love. Becomes a beacon of unconditional love, and trust that everything will be shown to you, will be explained to you, will be demonstrated, will unfold for you once the mind attains the contemplative state. And it will be, because we have to be able to see without judgment in order to understand all that, which is not easy because we've been conditioned. I'm going to pull a few cards for the weekend, the angel cards. The highest wisdom is the mission. What we need to understand is joy. What we need to do is reparation, to be able to repair all kinds of things. And the outcome is potentiality. There's going to be new potential that are going to be unfolding and opening up. So, because it all comes within the breath. Somebody asked the Buddha, how long is a lifetime? So one says 1 year, one says 100 years, one says 1 day. And the Buddha finally said, no, it's an inspiration and an expiration. That's where human life comes from. First thing we do when we're born is we breathe. The last thing we do before we die is to breathe. For death does not really exist, but in the physical presence. And so within a breath, there could be a breath could be extremely painful, but there is breath that can be extremely joyful. So always think of connecting to your breath and respect your breath, trust your breath. It is all happening within that. It's the lungs are sheltering this process. There is the breathing is one of the two things that are gift from God, that we don't have to think about it. A lot of people breathe, but they never realize they could breathe consciously. And that is one, the breathing. We don't have to think to breathe in order to breathe. It's something natural. And the other thing is the heartbeat. The heartbeat, we don't need to remind ourselves that we need to keep a heart beating. It's a gift from life, a gift from the universe. Everything else has to be acquired. I finished with a song. It's just thought I come and say hello. Here it's a portrait. It's a portrait of this blonde girl. She's got a beautiful dynamism. But I may have a symbol on a necklace that's going to come out. I don't know which one yet, so I haven't done it. And this is a self-portrait with the astrology. Instead of putting my face, I put the earth because I thought it was less, it was more general. But it represents where the stars and planets, the planets were at the time of my birth. And so I'm going to finish with this song, and I'll put one more card. It's a song I didn't know what to say. I wasn't going to sing, but they preferred that I sang, so I figured I finish with a song that's very smooth, it's a beautiful song. It's called Amazing Grace. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear, the hour I first believed. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I am found. Was blind, but now I see. Well, thank you very much for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. I'm not really sure what's going to be happening. I know there's great changes ahead, so I don't know if hopefully I will return to make videos soon. I'm not really sure just yet. The card of the day is the 5 of Ariel. It says not to worry. You are not obligated to undertake all challenges by yourself. Help is right at hand. Negative thoughts do not allow things to go in the right direction. So stop worry, let go, let go. Then we'll find the sun, the beautiful Ariel. There is the sun that is wanting to shine. It's just behind. The mind is always there to create those opposition to this love of the soul, this light, the Archangel Ariel. A marvelous life. Get fulfillment through positive thoughts. Ideas that lead to success. So that's what you want to focus on the sun. Connect to the sun and bring the sunlight into your life, into your heart, and shine. I thank you very much. Namaste.